Welcome back to another episode of Bald and Sassy. I'm your host, Chris Bailey. This is
the bald guy,
Chris Hathaway. Chicka, yeah. If you never knew that we're both named Chris, now you do.
Welcome to the podcast.
Where have you been? I don't know. I mean, I don't know where we've been. It's been over a month since we've been in the podcast studio.
Yeah. Life's been wild.
Keeps happening, right? Do you have another kid? Fifth kid?
No fourth kid yet.
No, fourth. I went to fifth. I was like, we're just going to go for, you want boys? Twin boys.
Twins? Yeah.
Twin boys, Chris. Oh. I can just see Megan now. I'm taking a week vacation. Figure it out. I don't know. I need time.
I mentally figured this out.
Yeah, I don't. What? Yeah. I had friends, they were like going through fertility and stuff like that and praying. And then they found out they were pregnant and then it was triplets.
Okay. Did they, were they doing treatments?
No, just.
Oh,
it was
wow.
Like, boom. You're like, guy was like, ha, gotcha. You prayed a lot. Here you go. Here's a lot of child.
Wow. One and done.
I think the funny thing too is if you talk to parents of like, and this is not everyone, right? Because I'm not one, but you've talked to people of like that have like twins or triplets or something right off the bat. Uh-huh. While it is hard, like that's the only thing they've ever known. Yeah. So like that's just what it is. Just like you don't know different. And then they have one afterwards. You're like, oh, one's easy.
What do they say? Out of the bathwater into the cooking pot? Something like that?
Yeah. Out of the pot into the frying pan.
Okay. I was thinking keeping it very mild and then immediately getting thrown into, okay, here you go. Here's the boiling water.
That too, yeah, probably. Why not? Well, we can make up sayings. We're from Texas.
If it makes sense,
yeah.
It makes sense.
So how's ScarJo sleeping?
It's been a struggle last.
How old is she now?
8 months. Yep. And we're working on the top teeth coming in.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a battle right now of every time we try to take her from like vertical sleeping into the crib in a horizontal position. As soon as she moves into the horizontal position, she wakes up.
Oh man.
So yeah, we've literally been rocking anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours a night.
What are those like weighted stuffies and put like a baby satchel on the stuffy that just holds her up, right? Then just pat her and so she falls. You know, you ain't sleep sitting up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've tried a few different things.
I'm sure.
We, hopefully that in combination with the teething right now is leading to some limited sleeping nights. But
what are you averaging a night?
4 to 6? Like 5, 6. Yeah.
Hashtag dad power.
Yeah.
Let's blast through it, right?
And then keep doing your 8 to 5 every day.
Yeah, you don't get to stop that.
That's
not how that works. Are Hazel and Kennedy?
They're doing good. Yeah. Still, Kennedy's been fighting the sleep thing. We're also working on that. She was our really easy sleeper, but
you got a little bit of regression there.
Yeah. She started a few months back being like, Mama pat. She needed Mama to like sit with her and like pat her to sleep because that's what the teachers in the daycare were doing. They were like patting as they were trying to get him to go to sleep.
You want to talk to those teachers, be like, hey,
put
my child down and don't touch him because this is...
Me and Miss Jelly already had words. Yeah. I mean, you want your kids being taken care of and you want them to try to get to
But it has to be simpatico. Like, it has to be, like, because, if they create that and they like that for naps 5 days a week, all of a sudden they're like, this is what I need. And you're like,
yeah.
No.
You got 2 other sisters also trying to go down for naps at the same time.
You're like, cool, I need 8 hours of sleep, but I ain't getting that, so welcome to the house of not getting what you want. Like,
yeah. But, yeah, we've been trying to accommodate, and, now she wants to sleep with the door open, so we're just kind of, the sleep scenario is a little limited right now. But
are they sharing rooms, or?
No.
They've all got their own?
Everyone's got their own rooms.
Yeah. We're lucky.
Yeah. They don't even know it.
They have no clue.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I think I was 16 before I had my own room.
Really? I don't know.
Maybe 15. I don't know.
I I don't think me and my sister ever shared a room.
I had a brother, so that's my sister probably had her own room at like 12 or 13.
Okay.
But I mean, what, Hazel had one at 2?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically Hazel's always had her own room.
Right, so is Kennedy. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Because even when it was the crib and yeah.
Well, if they start acting up too much, that's just a thing in your pocket. Be like, you're all sharing a room now. You want to play this? One room. This is mommy and daddy's rooms now. You don't get these rooms anymore.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I mean,
part of us been thinking about if we want to try having the 2 oldest, Hazel and Kennedy, sleeping in the same room. You know, bunk beds or, 2 twins, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've thought about it. And then still having a guest room or whatever else for that extra bedroom. But
yeah. I won't be moving back in, so don't worry about that.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're married now.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah.
She kind of likes me.
How about you? What's new?
Oh my gosh. What is new? What is today?
Today is Wednesday.
It's April. It's April 1st. Haha, April Fools. We're not recording by. I'm just kidding. Haha, this is a joke. For the record, I have a love-hate relationship with April Fool's Day.
What is that?
I love playing jokes, right? But my birthday's April 2nd.
Okay.
So I had a lot of empty boxes growing up.
Okay.
Not funny when you're like young.
Yeah. No.
You don't get it. It's not a funny joke. And you want to look at all those parents and be like, hey, I get the 7-year-old kid thought it was funny. Mm-hmm. You're an adult. What are you doing giving a 7-year-old child an empty box? So, yeah, you know where April Fool's comes from?
I don't.
It used to be the new year.
Okay.
Because that was when the harvest season started.
I think
or the planting season. But they wanted to change it to the calendar year, all this stuff. And so it was actually like a shame tactic. Be like, well, we'll call those the April Fools. Because they're the fools for celebrating the new year at that time. And it worked. Shame and guilt has been a very effective tool in a lot of changing of society.
Long time.
Like jaywalking.
Yeah.
It's like it used to be a racial slur. A J.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, we'll say it's jaywalking, and then people won't want to be, they don't want to be a J. So they're going to, if you don't know, just look it up. Google it. I'm not a historian.
Yep.
But it's crazy, right? When you look at some of these things that you're like, why is it called jaywalking? Well, it has nothing to do with the letter. Let's just tell you that. Because people are like, this is more like eye walking.
Yeah. Why are a lot of things called what they are? It's interesting to look back
at.
Yeah.
A lot of it goes back to a time that you're like, oh, it actually had a meaning, and we just don't understand it. Because it's so old. Yeah, man. So, a lot. I've been, doing some additional licensing and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it was a few weeks ago, right? I was coming back, and if you've never traveled through Atlanta Airport, just don't.
It's a busy one.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Well, it was right. So I'm coming back from Atlanta right at the time the partial government shutdown.
Oh, no.
So Atlanta is the busiest airport in the United States.
I was going to say, I knew it used to be. I didn't know if it still was.
They had one security checkpoint open.
No.
Whole airport. Over 4,000 people in security line.
Ooh.
Luckily, we got there early, so it was only an hour for us to get through security. But by the time we got halfway, it was showing a wait time of 1:45 to get through security. And then, of course, it's not like, I don't know where y'all live, right? In DFW, it's nice that once you get through, there's a security for a certain terminals. So then it's like, you can get from one side of the terminal to the other in 15 minutes in DFW.
Yeah.
Like if you're in E, once you get through the security E, I can get to any gate in under 15 minutes.
Okay.
That's not how Atlanta works. You get in all the terminals, you go through one security, and then you're into all the terminals, and you have to get like trains.
Okay.
To go to every other terminal.
I think that's kind of how Denver was, if I remember right.
Yeah. There's a lot that are that way. Dallas is different because we just have so much land. Mm-hmm. We have so much space to spread that out.
I mean, each terminal is like its own airport.
For sure. And so there's all that. And then our flights I'm supposed to fly out Sunday night. Where it comes in, the plane lands, they're like, hey, we're running a little late. They come in, the crew timed out. So if you don't travel, right, like there's only so many hours pilots and flight attendants can be in the air before they can't make another flight. Well, they got back and they didn't basically have enough time to get back to Dallas. So that time's out. So they push us to 11. We go to another gate. Gets to a little bit. That crew comes in. They time out. So now it's 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. I've been doing 10-hour classes every single day. We don't have a hotel. We don't have a rental car. I just want to go home. They're like, oh, we got you on a 5:30 flight in the morning. Okay, well, at that point, I'm like, it's 11 o'clock. Like, I'm not going to try to go find a hotel. I'm not trying to go through that security line, blah, blah, blah. I'm, like, asleep in the airport, and we get a notification like 2 a.m. They don't have a crew for that flight. It's been canceled. There's no 5:30. So now it's 10 o'clock is the flight. So now we're already at 12 hours after my flight was going to leave.
Yep.
So, all right, 10 o'clock. So at this point, you're sleeping in the airport. Nothing's open that late, including like the American Airlines lounge. Like I've got the American Airlines card. So I was like, oh, I'll go into the lounge. It's like $25, like, cause I'm not platinum, but I'll $25 I can go in. Well, there's no flight supposed to be there. So they're closed.
Yep.
There's thousands of people sleeping in the airport because none of us want to deal with security again. You're like, that got real bad. We're not trying to do that. Right. Mm-hmm. So 10 o'clock shows up. They're like, hey, your plane's here. We just got to wait for this one to push off. We'll pull your plane in. Takes a while to push off. No plane pulls in for a minute. They're like, hey, fill these planes before we're popping you over to this gate. So you go over here. Well, as soon as this pushes off, we'll pull your plane in. It pushes off. Wait a few minutes. Hey, so-and-so's flight here. Back over to this gate. Do that for about 6 times. I knew everyone that was coming back to Dallas because we're all been there together for like 14 hours. Yeah. And we would literally go to like a restaurant that was like, oh, this place closes at 10. All right, it's closing. This place closes at 12. Everyone head over there because there's nothing to do in an airport. Finally land at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday.
Okay.
Of course, I go straight to work. Right. And so, yeah, that, which is funny. It's an amazing weekend, but then that's a hard thing to come off of it. Yep. So good news, bad news, right? At the time, we a week before we found out we were pregnant.
Congratulations.
Yes.
First, I'm hearing this news.
This is the first he's hearing this news, and there's more. It's not triplets. You're like, were you preempting that? No, it's not triplets.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I kept joking with her it was going to be twins, and she was like, stop joking. I was like, I mean, whatever. I was like, I got to pay for it. Figure it out. She's like, yeah, you do. So, of course, like, you just want to get back, right? Finally get back, go do things. That was Monday. Tuesday morning, when she wakes up, she's spotting.
Okay.
So then it's like, all right, well, apparently she had been lightly spotting, which isn't necessarily a thing. But then it's like Tuesday, it's like heavier. It's like, all right, let's go see the doctor, blah, blah. They can't get us until Wednesday. Wednesday we go in and we find out it's a miscarriage. Okay. So then you just come from this high to this low, which then, of course, like Wednesday, like they have an amazing company. I like texting them like, I'm not coming in today. Here's the things I was going to do. Figure it out. And they go, oh, especially I don't ever call in. So they're just like, all right. We don't know why, but well, some of them had known we were expecting and stuff like that. I'm a big fan. So then it's just.
Well, before we go further with discussion, did you clear it with her to discuss any of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Because I was going to say, that is not something that typically women like want out.
So, and that's, so we'll backtrack now, right? So up until I was actually planning on I wanted to announce to like all the guys at the same time, right? I thought it would be a fun like highs and lows. What's your highs and lows? Like high and low. Oh, and I have a kid coming. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And then some of this, so we're like, well, let's wait until we do this, right? But not that I expected a miscarriage, right? I don't think that's healthy to be like, we're going to have this. Like, I don't think that's a healthy place to be. No. But I've been around enough people, and everyone that I've talked to, right? You might have a difference of opinion out there. Don't at me. It's my story, not yours. But everyone I had talked to that had gone through something like this, I had never met anyone that had gone through that to be like, I wish I had told no one in my life so no one knew what I was going through. And I had heard plenty of people being like, I wish I had told more people so I had something around. So we were pretty proactive that like my family knew, her family knew. I had people at work that knew, like my Bible study knew, like we probably had 20 plus people that I already knew.
Okay.
And so then that's funny as we fast forward. So like then when this is all happening, like day 1 and day 2, like we're going to be really honest on here, right? I went back to work on Thursday. And part of that was because like Wednesday, but we had the ultrasound at like 9 o'clock in the morning. By 10:30, I was drinking. Because I was like, there's just, you don't know what to cope with all this. You're crying and upset and ticked off and all of the emotions, right? Not happy. There's no happy there. But it's like sad and depressed and pissed and curious and confused, just all the things. And then just, so it's like, yeah, it's just like not healthy. We're going to give ourselves a day, but then like tomorrow, like I got to get, like I have to come back to the real world a little bit.
You need some normalcy.
Well, honestly, it was a blessing to be able to like go around my cruise and I have no idea. And it's just like, we're just talking about pain and that's it. But so those first few days, like she was like, I'm really not happy that you made us tell people. Like she wanted to wait and I was like, that's not healthy. We need to tell our community. We're going to tell our community. We can wait to tell everybody. Yeah. But like, I'm not waiting 2-3 months to tell my family, to tell my really close community. Like that's not, I don't feel like that in any way, shape or form aligns with the kind of community Christ calls us to. And I don't think it's healthy, right? I think, once again, this is not designed to be convicting. This is my opinions and why I did what I did. But I think deep down, for most people, if you look at why you don't tell anyone, it's out of pride and selfish reasons. Because I don't want to have to be vulnerable, right? So those first few days, she was like super upset. So then luckily her mom was in town because of course, that weekend, her nephew was born. So she's starting to go through this while I'm out of town and her nephew's being born, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of happy, sad. She loves her new nephew. She gets to spend time with her niece. Her mom's in town for that. She spent like all of these things and then all of this, right? And like, I think literally like 5 days before we had told her mom flew in and we told her mom. So her mom's known for like not even a week at this point. And so then like Thursday morning, wake up and she's like, I want my mom. I was like, all right, I'll go pick her up. Like, I got to run to the office. I have meetings this time, but at this time I will leave and I go. So I go pick her up and it was, I could tell her mom and her family. And it was one of those things that, it was definitely easier because instead of having to go, hey, we didn't tell you that we were expecting. Yeah. But now because they might have, I'm not saying they had these emotions, but if it's me and say I had told you about every pregnancy right off the bat and you come to me and you're like, hey, we're 9 months, or not 9 months. That's called a child. Yeah. 9 weeks along, and I told you at like 5 weeks every time, 9 weeks along. So there's going to be a little bit of hurt that's like, man, why did you take so long to tell me? Mixed with, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. But the beautiful part about them knowing it was just like, I showed up and like the look on my face, they already knew something was up with Marina. Because like also, why would they live in Rockwall. So I literally drove 45 minutes out there without letting them know I was coming. Yeah. Because I didn't want to have this conversation via text or phone. Like, I'm just going to do this face to face, right? To be like, hi, here's what happened. Mom, get in the car. Like, Marina says she wants you. You're coming with me. But I think, and she'll say it now, part of the reason she felt comfortable doing that is because her mom already knew. So it's like, it almost pushed you into having to be vulnerable. Yeah. And then, of course, her sister and brother-in-law are amazing and came over for dinner that night and brought dinner over. And then one of her best friends, Cynthia from the wedding, found out, booked a ticket from Seattle and flew in for the weekend. Seattle to Dallas is not a cheap ticket. Just flew in to spend time, right? So fast forward a week, she looks at me. She's like, I'm so grateful you made me tell people. Because we were able to have people come around us. Like, even with work, had I not told them that, like, hey, we're expecting, When I just do a random text, it's like, I'm not going to be there. They're like, what are you talking about? You're not coming. No, that's not how this works. Like, that's not how jobs work. You don't just go, I'm not working today. You don't just send that text without description. And then even like, I'm pretty good at showing up where I need to, but have I been 100% myself over the last 2 weeks at work? No. Will I have moments over the next several months? Yes. If they don't know that information, I just look lazy or all these things, right? All this stuff. And so like, it's been a blessing to me to be able to have people come around me to the point where she's in the last week had conversations that people didn't even know with people in our lives that didn't even know we were expecting and willing to like, which is a huge growth. So I actually do think like miscarriage is not, I'm not gonna say miscarriage is a blessing, but the fact that we told people definitely comes across like it's been a blessing to have our community. We've basically given our community an opportunity to show up for us.
Right.
And so is she okay? I asked her, I was like, hey, what are your feelings on this? Right. Cause it's not just my story. Like, and anyone that's ever been through that, like that's part of it. As we were telling this, we found a lot of people in our life had experienced this that we never knew about. And our thought too is like, one reason we want to do this is like, what if the next person, because of this, it's like, oh, okay, like it's just one of these things that like no one talks about. Yet it's 1 in 4 pregnancies end in miscarriage. Yet, do you know who you know that's had a miscarriage?
I know a few people.
Okay, you know a few, right? I bet you know not even half of the people that you know that have had it, right? And so like it's one of those things that like it's really been a blessing to have just watch people show up, and I'm glad I pushed a little bit because she was like, well, because of course the stereotype or the norm is you wait to the 8 to 10 week checkup. You don't tell anyone for 8 to 10 weeks. Which like, okay, but you know me.
Yeah.
When you say you don't do this, why? Mm. Not saying it's right or wrong, but why? And usually the answer is, well, it's not, most miscarriages happen before 12 weeks. Like it's, if you don't, this way you don't have to. I was like, well, that's not a good reason. So it's so I don't have to be vulnerable and I can't have people rally around me. Like, so I don't have to be forced into the situation of telling is kind of what they say, which it's like, no, if I'm going to be like a fully integrated human being that shows up in life, like that's not fair. That's not fair to them for me to just be randomly show up different and they have zero idea of anything in my life. But also like I'm robbing people the opportunity, like as much as those people in our life were a blessing to us, right? And they truly were. Yeah. I think some of them would also tell you it was a blessing that we were willing to let them in. Yeah. Like that they got to show up for Marina, right? And they got to show up for us. So like, and let's see, this is me, like if you do your own choice, but like, it's funny. My wife anyone who knows her knows she is not to tell everyone everything. I'm the open book, right? I do not care. What do you want to know? I'm not giving you my social, but other than that, like, what do you want to know? Right. I'm dense. I'm not dumb. But like my wife is just not that person. Right. No. But it was one of those, and I think some of it was like spiritual discernment. It was like, no, we need to tell people. Right. And I'm like super grateful that I did, because I think it was definitely, I don't think we would be as healed as we are today if it was just, because also like and I've told my wife this a million times, not just in this, when we talked about finding a church that for us and finding community together, is that like, I love the living snot on my wife and I try so hard and work hard to be a great husband. And no matter what I do, I'm never going to be enough for her. Not that, not in like I will never, but it's like, she will always need additional community outside of me. I'm not going to be able to fill every void. And so like, my thought was like, I hope this never happens, but if God forbid something ever happens with the pregnancy, I won't be enough for you. Like I'm not a woman. I do not know what it feels like to grow life inside of me. Yeah. Like, I don't know these things. And you're going to have to, like, her mom, like, no one can replace your mom. Yeah. Come in and just love it on you. Like, no one can replace that. But I also know that had her mom not known, I don't think she could have just right. Like and maybe she could have, but I think it's really one of those things that it's this, what the outcome of telling people was definitely truly a blessing, right? I kind of circular talking at this point.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that is a little bit different with a true Christian support group is you want them to be able to help you through your lowest lows.
Yeah.
Like that's where a lot of relationships are really built is through trauma.
Yeah.
Experiencing things with other people and being able to talk about that. It's something you don't forget. And
yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'm finding this news out.
Yeah.
Like
well, and
all
so
of this,
it's
the pregnancy, the miscarriage.
Funny, but I think if you look back at some of our communication over the last 2 weeks,
yeah,
you can go, oh, because I've been way less responsive the last 2 weeks.
Correct.
Way less a lot, right? And I think that actually showed me that it's like, man, I actually kind of wish more people in my life had known.
Yeah.
Because the people that knew both sides, all of my actions are completely, okay, got it. And they were able to check on me. Like, y'all had no way of knowing, but it's also like not something I wanted to like over text, right? Like, that's like, hey, we were expecting and now we're not. So, happy Monday morning. You put that in your, like, it's also not necessarily kind to throw that on someone on a Monday morning, get ready for work, be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But like, I didn't feel like I could be my honest self with that because you guys just didn't know. And that's no fault of your own, right? Like there's no way for you to know. But it's like one of those things that I was like, man, I wasn't able to really show up for that. And nor were y'all able to show up for me because you didn't know, right?
Yeah. And I mean, the people that you wanted to reach out to about it. Yeah. I mean, if you would have just texted, hey, can we meet up for dinner tonight or something? Like, okay, cool. Like,
yeah. I know we could have, right? 100%.
But yeah, man, I'm truly so sorry, but I know that you guys are going to keep trying, and I know there's going to be, we'll see what God's will ends up being.
And it's like not the silver lining, but like it's one of those we're trying to look at. Like there was some tests we found that were like, oh, okay, this would be good to know, like stuff like that, like, and even eye opening. We're not going to get into like the nitty gritty of like pregnancy and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to hear all that. Unless you do, then, throw something in the comments and I got some good podcasts that are way better than I am because any information I'm giving you is only from stuff I've read from experts. So I'll just point you at them if you want to do anything. And I definitely could say it's grown. Like our relationship is way stronger now than it was a month ago.
Yeah.
Because you both got to show up for each other. I mean, through the serious hardship, right?
Yeah.
And it is funny, like I think you had a very good faith, man, that sucks, right? I think more often than not, people in my life have had very good responses in that they're not trying to say the perfect thing, just like sit there with you. Like Jesus was like, it, like everyone jokes, what's your favorite passage? Like Jesus wept. It's the shortest verse in the Bible. But I think there's something to be said there that instead of like coming into them and being like, he was just like, he mourned with them. But it is ironic. We've had some people that maybe there's been times that be like, hey, now's not the time to say that. Yeah. And I think that was a hard part for me as a husband is that like I had this two sides that I wanted to protect my wife from anyone that wasn't going to just say the right thing. And knowing that someone's going to say something really dumb, for lack of better things in this, that is not helpful. And yet going, I can't protect you from everything. And I still know I'm not enough. Like you need these other people in your life. Right. So yeah, it's been an interesting month to come off a very, kind of a weekend high with all these classes and licensing that was just amazing. To then go to delay, to then come home and be like, all right, well, we've got home, we're doing this thing, to just be like full rock bottom. Yeah. And then I think there's some guilt through there too, because it's like, I've got a lot going on in my life. So I'm definitely someone that can generally kind of lock in, but then I'm like, man, should I be able to just go back to work this fast? Like, which we want to say, like, am I mourning the right way? What is sad enough?
Yeah.
There is no mourning the right way. But like all of those struggles that it's like, man, like, of course, and then we both go, well, what did I do wrong? Which is, if you've ever talked to any doctor about it, like, there's 1 in 4 sometimes, like, and they don't always know why. They're like, just the body decided it wasn't viable. I don't know. We don't know.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask, have you played the game of thinking back? Okay, what should I have been doing something different? But I mean, I would imagine anybody that goes through that has those questions,
Right.
And goes through that.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think it's hard. Like, first of all, before I say that, I would say unequivocally, in my opinion, it's definitely harder on the woman than the man.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone with a brain could try to argue that, and no one would listen. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying what I've had to go through over the last month is at all even comparable to what she's had to go through, right? It's just but it's also very different. But I think the hard part for me, like as a man, right, like I want to protect my wife from anything and everything. And someone breaks in this house right now, I'm going to protect her.
Yeah.
That's not something I can protect her from. And it's like you feel so helpless in that moment because there's like, I can be here for you, but there's nothing I can do to make the physical pain better, the emotional pain better. I'm not a woman, so I can't give you some of the things you need right now. Like, there's just so much that you're just like, yeah, I mean, it's a very...
You can be supportive, but
yes.
Yeah, there's only so much that you can do.
And that's hard, right? Because especially as like, at least me, like, I know a lot of men, but like me, like, I'm a doer. Just give me a task to complete and I'll complete it. And there's no task to complete in grieving.
Yeah.
There's like, no, you just got to sit here and grieve. Yeah. So, welcome to that bombshell in a podcast.
Right?
I told you whatever you thought was in your head was not.
Oh, I knew it wasn't going to be a full story, but, or like what I was thinking wouldn't be a full story, but yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? Where's the wisdom?
I mean, we
question.
personally did not go through any miscarriages.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I have had people close to me that have gone through them. And yeah, it's gut wrenching, to care about somebody and see them go through that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you were saying with Marina, as a husband, you always want to be trying to do the right thing and protect your wife, and you're one flesh. Like,
yeah,
you want to feel what they're feeling, but you can't make that full connection. We're biologically different. Like,
yeah.
I would always try to support my wife as she was going through pregnancy, but you know, there's only so much
you can do, right? You can't be like, I'll take the baby for a night. Like, it's not how this works.
Yeah. I personally feel weird talking about this on like a podcast setting. I know you're open about this, but yeah, this is
it's the weirdest topic I've talked about on here for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm not acting like, and that's why it was like one of those things that I was like, do I
mean,
should I? And I was like praying about it. I was like, well, I need to talk to Marina, because if she's not good with it, like, but then there's your answer. Like, if you ever question, there's nothing we talk on here that both of our wives are not okay with. Like, I would never. I love y'all as an audience. I do not care about y'all more than her. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Priority number one
for sure.
Our partner.
So we talked about protecting them, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes protecting them from ourselves. For my oversharing.
Not my story.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel in terms of like the other people that have been close to my life that have gone through it.
It's not. We're not here to drop names. Absolutely not. That's not. But I think it's crazy, like how many people are like, oh yeah, we had 2. Oh yeah, we went through this twice or 3 times, and you're like,
I mean, I
Why?
would hope that gives you hope.
No, it does, and it does. It gives you a mix of emotions, right?
Yeah.
Because you get part of it, you're like, oh, okay, we can still have a kid, and then part of it, you're like, what do we have to go through this 2 more times, right? So there's both of those.
Yeah.
But I think part of it is, and I was talking with one guy I know that they had gone through a couple, and I was focused. He was like, man, I felt the same way. That it was just like, how are so many people around me going through this, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like that can say a lot of things. But I think it does speak to kind of the human condition, the Christian community, is that like, should we be going through things that people around us, not everyone, right? But should you be going through we're pretty close. Should you really be going through deep, dark things that I don't know about? Does that seem healthy?
Right. I mean, it's really, who's in that circle of trust.
Yeah.
And for me, growing up, I internalized almost all of it because
yeah,
with my dad leaving, when I was before I started high school, it's just like, okay, you're the man in the house. You deal with your own problems and go figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of young men out there and probably some young women as well that they just feel like their problems are theirs and they got to figure it out, and they don't feel like they can turn to anybody.
Yeah, and I would say, man, you're missing out first and foremost. Like, I think the biggest thing is, and Marina would vocalize this, that she didn't want it to be a burden on other people.
Yeah. And
in fact, it was the exact opposite. Like, it was a blessing that people were given permission to show up for her. In fact, through these times, you actually have to tell people more, hey, give me some space. Don't reach out to me, because everyone just wants to be there for you. And I think we do in turn, like when I get to be there for someone else, it is feeding to me, right? Not that I'm like selfishly, I'm only helping you because it's good for me, but like just being able to help you is, I think intrinsically is good for us. Like it makes it, it's good for our soul. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things that it's more, I think that's also part of one reason here is that it's like, there were people that like I've known since I was a kid, right? That were at my wedding and stuff like that. And I had no clue that they've been through this. And I'm like, not to say it might have been a good conversation. And I'm just looking at me like, man, there's people in my life, like students and stuff like that, that I would hope they know. Because had I known that too, that might have been someone I might have reached out to right away.
Yeah. And
be like, hey, I know you've been through this. Like if I know someone struggling with drugs or alcohol, I got people right away, like, boom, let's connect you, right? But up until the last month, if I had someone going through a miscarriage, I got no one to connect you through. Yet 1 in 4 pregnancies end that way. Yeah. Which is millions and millions, right?
I mean, some of the senior pastors at our church or teaching pastors, senior pastors have talked about the issues that they've had.
For sure. And so that was kind of mine coming on here is like, I want to just like, even if I'm someone's like, oh, he's been through that, but it's like, hey, like no matter, God created us for community, for healing. Like I definitely would not be as healed. It can almost seem like I'm like completely okay right now. And I am, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Right. But like 100% would not be talking about this right now, or honestly talking about anything right now. I would not have done this if I hadn't shared stuff early on and had people to share it with, right? Because then I would just felt like I had to bottle up, and I would have been only unhealthy coping mechanisms. Yeah. Whereas now, if I'm like, man, I just want to like have 5 drinks and not think about it tonight. Like I have people I can reach out and be like, hey, it's a tough night, just pray for me, or people will just show up, right? Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what we're going to label this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a catchy title there.
No. But I mean, we've talked about struggles, and we've talked about what they can do with your relationship with God.
Yeah. So this is just a more recent one than.
Yeah. Putting blame, and, sometimes they can shake your faith. So I hope it's not taking you in that direction. But
there was definitely moments for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there was definitely like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I feel like I've been trying to do everything and we do all this stuff and we were healthy and all this stuff. But this is why it's healthy to have other wiser people pouring into you. And I don't even remember who it was, but it was a story he was talking about. And his mom passed away. He's literally at home planning his mom's funeral. His daughter was like, and then she's like, I want to go outside. So she goes outside. 10 minutes later, like he's literally planning his mother's funeral. 10 minutes later, someone knocks at the door. So he goes and answers it. And they're like, hey, your daughter needs you. Like, no, nonchalant. And he was like, I didn't really think anybody there. She's a princess. Oh, she passed out. Of course, she needs a prince to come save her. And he gets out there. And as he's going, the neighbor starts screaming, like, come on over. Well, he was mowing the lawn on a riding lawnmower and launched a rock and hit her in the head. She's unconscious. Take her to the hospital, has brain bleeding, all this stuff. A few days go by, the doctor's like, it's a miracle. It's stopped, blah, blah, blah. Go to see a neurologist. There's a tumor. Of course, so then it's like this whole thing. And it's like, why me? Why? Like, what is going on? All this stuff. And which then he was like, there was this voice that's like, well, yeah, you say why me, but like, why not you?
Yeah.
So like, first of all, that was like a reframing. But then like even the doctor in that moment was like, you got to, like, I know you're upset right now, but actually that rock was a blessing. Because this tumor was here before the rock.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the rock, who knows what this would have turned into. And 6 months later, they did treatments, tumor-free, everything's great and stuff like that. And so it's just, it was definitely like, it's like God had me listen to that interview in that moment that it was like, not that God doesn't mourn with us, right? Which he does. But I think it was just one of those realizations that it's like, man, we live in this fallen, broken world. And unfortunately, in its sinful state, like there is just crap that happens. My favorite quotes I ever heard in church was, God is good and sometimes life sucks. And truer words have never been spoken. It's like, God is good and life can suck, like real bad sometimes. And so there was definitely one of that, but I think there was another song I was listening to that I had on a playlist. And it's funny how, depending on what you're going through, I never listened to the song right. Because what I had always heard the song as is, I praise you in the breakthrough. And then I listened to it, and the song is, my praise is the breakthrough. I'm going through crap. My life sucks right now. And the only way to get out of this is praising you. But that's what the song says. Yeah. Yet I listened to it hundreds of times and never heard that. Because I'd always come at it, and it was one of those things. So like, I think that was beneficial that like we've talked about some of the things, like I do like a 10-minute worship with Shane and Shane every morning. And like those things, to the moments, like I did not want to do them, but I was like, no, this is what I do. And those were truly blessings and like healing moments every single morning where I kind of got to have this healing moment. Because instead of running away from God, like I was just like, I'm really mad at you right now. Hold me. Yeah. Versus being like, I'm out, right? Like there's a million ways to respond. I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other. I'm just saying like that was definitely, but there was definitely through that, like, and there's still lost hope and dreams, right? Because at this point would have been 2026. We would have had a kid here, and that's probably not going to happen 2026 now. Yeah. And so there's just, it's like it's a hard thing, and it's not done, right? Like the mourning process is not done. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's not like you have a miscarriage and it's done right there. There's more tests that go in after that and making sure everything's okay. Like you'd think you're like, oh, we lost the child and now at least we don't have to. No, we had more doctor's visits in the week after that happened than we did the entire pregnancy. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, that's okay. Let's go spend money and do this. And, but yeah, I don't know how to wrap up that conversation.
No, I mean, I don't think there's a easy way to put a bow on that.
No,
but
life's real, guys.
Yeah, life's real.
Yeah,
as much as we've preached about it, community is absolutely a key factor in getting through the struggles, and leaning into your faith even stronger rather than pushing away. I mean, you're trying to live out exactly what we've been talking about, and it's
not easy. It is not easy for sure. I think that's about all I got. I don't know how to better wrap it up than I think we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Take
Bye,
care,
guys.
everybody.
Is it recording? It is recording. What am I doing?
I was just say it's been going for a minute now.
You've been going for a minute now. There could be cries. There could be curse words.
Oh no.
There could be all kinds of things, right?
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh my. So yeah, we'll just we're gonna have fun with this one.
All right.
I don't know what's going through your head right now. If you're like, all right, I'm gonna have to off the cuff some stuff.
Apparently. Well,
You know?
I'm not the improv guy, so we'll see how this goes.
It's just human interaction.
Yep.
All right.